welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm your hostess, Paulette Henson, and today my guest on the show is Paul Minnick from KPM Mortgage. Now, Paul has been on the show before, and he is back with his staff member, Cambria, and they're going to talk about the mortgage industry and what's going on with it, where we are in this day and age. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage Paul Minnick. Paul, welcome.
Hey, Paulette. Thank you for having me back on the show. It's great to see you again.
Thank you for coming on the show. You know, we always want to know what's going on in the mortgage industry, and I appreciate your insight and your just general knowledge on the mortgage industry and how you can help our viewers. So go ahead and give us an update on the mortgage industry and just the state of it, where we are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So the mortgage industry currently has been a pretty volatile market. Rates, just to recap where we are, where we've been in the last 6 to 12 months, is rates clearly have gone from, twos and threes to sixes and sevens, which is not something that generally speaking, we want to see both in the mortgage industry and the industry in general. But it's long overdue in terms of, the rates going up, because twos and threes were not realistic, for an extended period of time. However, in the last month, the rates have actually dipped down a little bit, which is really, really nice. It feels like the market's starting to stabilize to some degree. And, as you see, like gas prices are starting to come down a little bit. The supply chains are getting caught up. So it feels like we're moving towards a more stable market. Inventory in homes is creeping up just a little bit. Prices have dropped just a little bit, but it feels like I say, we're moving towards a very stable market from what I see.
Yes, I have noticed that gas prices are starting to level in a downward motion.
Right.
And that feels a little bit better, although we still have our food issue. As you know, those prices are still just out the roof, and so we do have some economical bruises, shall I say, from this prior pandemic, and so we're just dealing with the backlashes of that. And
Right.
so with your company, tell us about any type of programs, or what your company does for its clients that really stick out from other mortgage companies.
Right. And I think I'll talk briefly about a few programs. Cal Hoffa recently introduced a new program that I think is going to be a huge benefit for first-time buyers. We just got the guidelines last week. It's a 20% down grant program with silent secondary financing that allows people to use Cal Hoffa's funding to cover the 20% down, and which is a huge thing for first-time home buyers, so they don't have to come up with any down payment, if the deal's obviously structured correctly, and they don't have mortgage insurance on the deal, because Cal Hoffa's portion of the deal covers the 20%. So unlike the old down payment assistance programs of many years ago up until recently, that 20% down allows buyers to get in with not only no down payment, but no mortgage insurance. So it's a huge benefit to the buyers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is huge. And you said, so that program is just launched currently, or is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it actually launched this week.
Wow. Well, isn't that amazing? I'm so glad to be talking to you about that. And, for our viewers out there, Paul is an expert at mortgage and programs. And so I encourage you to go to his website, kpmmortgage.com, and check out their company. They can help you if you are looking to, purchase a home or refinance your home. And so, Paul, tell the audience about financing, or your part in that. What's out there for people aside from the program that you just mentioned?
Right. So a lot of people don't realize, or maybe, because our industry, like so many industries, has a lot more details in the background that folks aren't aware of. Like when we talk about down payment assistance programs, I talk about that one specific CalHFA program, but depending on the city and the location in California, there may be as many as, 50 or more down payment assistance programs available in a given area. So
Wow.
it's not just one program, or it's just FHA, or it's just VA. It's a combination of figuring out how to make the particular program that fits the particular borrower's goals work the best.
Right.
Like the program that I mentioned, the 20% down. I think it's just a fantastic program, but it does recapture some of the equity when they sell the house. So if somebody's going to keep the house for 10 years and they sell the house, they have to pay back some of the profit that they got from selling the home. So it may not be the best goal. And where we come in is just like a good law firm or a good consultant, is we look at the borrower's situation and we talk through their goals with them. So it's not just about spitting out a program, but more talking through what the end goals are and figuring out, okay, where are you trying to get and which program may make more sense given your short-term and long-term goals. And that's where we fit in.
Wow. I think that, again, that human element of your company, it's really outstanding, because that's what people need today. I think in this type of economic situation, people want information. There's more of a thirst for information instead of making decisions that they're really uncertain about.
Right.
And so I really loved your company and how you and your staff just offer that customer service, because it is so greatly appreciated and it's needed. I don't know how many times that I know a person who was in a situation, and she had a home. She was living with her parents. Her parents passed, and something happened, and I want to say that she lost the home.
Oh.
And it's really sad, because, when whatever mortgage, like, she had no information. And then when she got the information, she literally had maybe a day or less to fix it. And
Right.
it was really, really terrible. And so that, for me, that story, it just really connects with your business model and how important it is, because like you said, there's so many different situations out there. And just for you to say that one situation or one program really doesn't, it's not going
Right.
to equate for everybody, that there are programs that can be possibly tailored to a
Mm-hmm.
person's situation. And so
Right.
that really opens up more inquisition, shall I say, for people to listen to your company, to your structure, to call you, and so that
Right.
you can help them. Because I've never heard anybody talk about their business, especially in that industry, really letting people know, sort of educating your clients. I mean, that's really one of the key components, I think, in a successful business.
Right. Completely agree. And that's the consultative approach that anytime you deal in a business that deals in large dollars or large amounts of information or legalities, you want somebody that, in my opinion, that takes a consultative approach rather than telling you you have to do this or you know, this is your only option, is weighing out the pros and cons and coming alongside, you know, our clients and saying, you know, where are you looking to go and how can we figure out the best way to circumvent the issues that you're going to come across? Because invariably, anytime you deal in large business, in any business, there's always going to be something you're going to have to work through. And having that kind of consultative, you know, let's figure out how to make it work and let's talk it through and figure out what your goals are. To me, that's just the way I was raised, and it flows down, you know, from me. And once we bring Cambria and, you know, my mortgage analyst, we all have that same motto and that same goal. Is we take the enormous amount of knowledge that we've learned over the years and figure out how to make it, you know, give our clients the best possible options.
Yes. Wow. And so I'm so excited. You mentioned Cambria. I briefly had a chance to speak with her. And so I'd like to bring Cambria to the stage, but give us a little bit of introductory information about Cambria before we bring her on.
Yeah, absolutely. Cambria is our mortgage analyst, and she is absolutely wonderful. Tremendous knowledge of the business, coupled with a great personality and the ability to break down our clients' goals and analyze their financials and take that knowledge that can be very intricate and break it down into, you know, let me explain it to you in common sense. Like, this is how it works.
Yes.
So she is somebody who qualifies our buyers. And when we qualify somebody, she gives them a call and explains, you know, this is the program that's best for you. This is how it works. This is your circumstances, and even goes over a little bit of their credit and you know, the whole circumstances. And Cambria and I have known each other, you know, for a dozen years or more. I was very fortunate to meet her years ago when I worked at a different mortgage company and when I formed my own company. And she was looking for a new home. You know, we reconnected and we're blessed to have her on as one of our team members. So
awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring Miss Cambria to the stage. Cambria, welcome. Let's see if we got, there you are. Hi, how are you? Okay, let's see. I can't hear you. Let's see if we can, I can't hear you. Let's see if we can, is your mic muted? Hello?
You're right. It was muted. Hi. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Hi, Cambria. Welcome. Yes, we can hear you now. How are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me, Paulette. And thank you for your kind words, Paul.
Definitely.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
We got you.
So Cambria, go ahead
Awesome.
and tell us about your awesome job with KPM Mortgage.
Yes. So I am the mortgage analyst here at KPM. I am usually, depending on the situation, I am either the first or second touch with our borrowers. I work with them to explain the process and get them qualified, and then see them from the beginning when they're looking for the home up until funding and beyond. So the deal, just when the deal ends, it doesn't necessarily end there with us. We maintain the relationship with the borrower beyond that to address anything that comes up afterwards as well. And yeah, so pretty much for me, the beginning steps comes, you know, into introducing myself, the company, going over what their loan goals are. If they're ready to start the approval process, then we have a very easy, streamlined process for that. We send them the link. They complete that at their leisure. It's super user-friendly. Upload their paperwork. And then at that point, the file gets turned back over to me. Usually within 24 hours or less, I'll be able to review it and go over it with the borrower. And depending on their circumstances, sometimes it's a beautiful borrower and they're qualified, perfect credit, money saved, very vanilla, easy stuff. We go over the loan programs that fits their goals and they'll start looking for houses fairly quickly. For other people where maybe they have credit challenges or gaps of, in their employment, some hiccup maybe somewhere down the road, like an ugly divorce, or who knows, there's all kinds of things that happen. We'll kind of all work with them at that point to get them on track to where they need to be to accomplish their goals. I always go over credit, even if they have like seemingly good credit. Your interest rate is very much derived from your FICO. So if there's a way that we can try to boost your scores to get you a better rate, before we close escrow, we're going to try to do that as well. And then once you find a home, I work with the agent and the buyers. They're looking through the process, and I always encourage them, because we are in such a, fluid, volatile market right now. As they're looking at homes, I always encourage them to send me their property. Let's see what the prices are fluctuating, and make sure that, they're still qualified. Rates haven't changed too much. Go over what their payment is. To me, that's like one of the number one things, is making sure they're comfortable with the payment. Just because you can afford to buy $1 million house doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be stretching yourself really thin. So I go over that. And then once they find a home, we go into the underwriting process. And then I stick with them through that process as well. And it goes to an underwriter, and it gets, they dig a little deeper into their paperwork. And if we need to get more paperwork or whatever may come up during that process, I stick it through with them. And then hopefully we get to the funding table and they close escrow. And usually the process right now, from beginning to end, once they open escrow, is about 30 days or less. Same thing with refinances. And, we don't just do purchases. We do refinances too, whether it's to pull some cash out or save some money, or we do reverse mortgages, for our seniors. And yeah, so that's in a large nutshell what I do.
Wow, you have an awesome job, very busy job, from what I can tell. Yeah. And so you bring a lot of education and knowledge and experience to the company, I can tell. And just your personality, you're able to just talk to everyday people. I think that's part of it too. Yeah. Most people are scared of people in mortgage, just frightens people, because they know it's dealing with funding, and they know, they're going to dig into my business. I have to, just disclose everything, all of my financial life and my woes to this person. And so you don't want to be judged, right? And so that really is the issue that I want people to understand, is that it's being comfortable with the company that is not going to make you feel that way, that whatever your issue.
There's no judgment here. And there's no judgment. It's kind of funny, because I feel that a lot with a lot of different people. And I'm always like, hey, whatever it is, tell me, and we're going to work through it. Like, I don't care how bad it may seem. I've probably already seen it before. You know what I mean? And my job is to get you past that so that we can accomplish your goals.
Yes. I love that, because, one of the models of this show is, it's faith without works is dead. So you have to do the work. And here's a company that is doing the work. And so it's really just opening that door and saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to connect with a company that's going to help me get this work done and carry out my goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Paul, do you have any discussion topics that you want to share with the audience? You and Cambria, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, you know, people look at buying a home or buying real estate from different points of view. You know, like my own personal circumstances, just to talk briefly, you know, I own rental homes. So when I buy a home, I look at it from an investor standpoint. You know, even if I'm going to live in the home, I look at it from that point of view. You know, and it goes back to the human element, Paulette, and I love that. And I think, you know, Cambria, like when you qualify and you talk with people, we don't just say, hey, what's your FICO score or what's your income? But, you know, a big part of our conversation, Cambria, you know, that you have with people is what are you trying to accomplish? You know, because if you ask those kind of questions, Cambria, I think that's going to flesh out, you know, what the goals are. You know, so I think that's a big part of it, you know, that we work with investors and we work with commercial buyers. And Cambria, what do you think, your opinion? I mean, we got the new CalHFA program out. What do you think as far as the down payment assistance programs available? I think it's a fantastic program, my personal opinion. How do you see that fitting in?
Well, I think it is a fantastic program, although over the weekend I read an article that there's not a lot of funds there and that there's a good chance we're going to see those funds dissipate very quickly. Right. So that's a bummer, but we'll see what happens. It's brand new. I think CalHFA, though, as a whole, is a really great down payment assistance program. They make it a little easier for people to qualify because really with the down payment assistance, it's like a box. And if you fit in the box, great. And if you don't, you know, we got to explore other options, right? So with CalHFA, though, they really have, I think, they broaden that box a little bit more for people to fit in. So I think it's a great program. There are other programs out there that are, you know, community specific. So if I have a borrower that is in need of that, that's a conversation we have. And, you know, we have tools where I can plug in their information and say, hey, they're eligible for A, B, C, and D program. And then we'll go over what those programs look like and try to tailor what fits what they're looking for, if possible. But I think down payment's a good option. A lot of people don't know, too, that if they don't fit in that box, you know, if they have a 401k, oftentimes you can borrow that money and repay yourself with interest. There's no penalties. So, you know, I try to go over all the options as much as possible with borrowers that need that type of assistance.
Wow. That's, you know, that's something I didn't even think about is the 401k. And that's absolutely true, because as long as you don't withdraw the funds physically, you can transfer it without penalty.
Yeah.
Wow. Who knew, right? You know, these are really things that people don't think about. I remember hearing this in a class that I took, but I never applied it to mortgage. And that's why I'm just like, oh my goodness, wow. So there's something else. If you, another funding option, a lot of people have 401ks out there. There's a lot of baby boomers, right, that are getting ready to retire. And a lot of them have been working for, you know, 30 years or more. And so that's a good option, retirement homes or some sort of income property, as you said, Paul. I think that, you know, a lot of people are either looking into doing that or thinking about it. And so that's really a great tool that you just mentioned, Cambria. And so as we close out today, gosh, we can just talk forever because, you know, as we talk, there's more and more things that come up, right? And so I love this discussion. Please, ladies and gentlemen, reach out to either Paul or Cambria. Their website is kpmmortgage.com. Their email, I'll go ahead and post the email, is loans@kpmmortgage.com. And let's see, loans. I will cut this part out of the loans at, let me see, kpmmortgage.com. Okay, and let's see. I'm going to cut this part out. What's the phone number? Let me put this in here. What's your phone number?
It's 805 918 7263.
7263.
Right.
Okay, let's put that in. That's a beautiful thing about recordings. You can cut and splice little things out of it. So
right.
Let's go ahead and add this. Okay. Okay, so we are back with Paul and Cambria of KPM Mortgage. And as you can see scrolling below, please contact them. They can help you with your mortgage needs. Their website is kpmmortgage.com. You can email them at loans@kpmmortgage.com or call 805-918-7263. And so I want to thank you both so much for just educating myself as well and all of our viewers out there on your business, the programs that are out there. And so I encourage you, please come back on the show and just keep us informed, because this is great information and I know that it can help somebody out there. So thank you again for being guests, Paul and Cambria. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. You can follow this show on YouTube, Facebook, as well as it has its own Facebook page. So check us out, and we'll see you next week on Let's Talk About It.
Thanks for having us, Paulette.
Oh, sure.
Bye.
Thank you.